Hi everyone, Plastic P here from Melbourne, Australia. And as my special guest, I've got Sayre from Atlanta, Georgia. And guess what? We're going to be talking about his fantastic world-class monster collection. I can't wait. How are you, Clay?
I'm great, Plastic. How are you?
I'm going fantastic. Plastic, fantastic. Now, you really got me going with the monsters because I'm a big monsters fan. And guess what? You're the first monster collection I'm going to have a look at. So, Clay, tell me now how you started collecting monsters, at what age?
Oh, goodness. I started early. My grandfather, who was my mentor, really was one of these people, loved movies, loved monster movies. Growing up in the 8mm era, he would always pull out the projector, show me movies when I was over there. And I got hooked on Phantom of the Opera first. That was it. Once I saw that, it was it. He told me a little bit about it. And, you know, that led to the models, the famous Monsters of Filmland magazine, and all of that. With that was this love of movie makeup, and the artistic side of that. So, you know, all that coupled together with a great person to share it with at a young age made it nice. He was one of these people who go to flea markets and do that sort of thing too. So there was an outlet to find some of this stuff early on. And some of the stuff I have dates back to that period that I still have from when I was a kid.
We love it here in Australia because in the 60s, I've got to tell you, we used to have a host on a Friday night. He used to come out of a coffin and he used to host movies. And I mean, that was very scary. And I know in America, you got so many hosts that do horror movies, for example, like Elvira and whoever. So, I mean, that's what makes it even more interesting and intriguing. But those life-size models, I'll tell you, if I had a collection like that and I had the lights off and I walked into the room, I'd be scared.
Well, you know, at some point, models just aren't enough, and you're like, I need bigger. I'm going bigger. I want a life-size one. So right now,
listen. Yep.
I have 3, 4 that I have in my personal collection that I made for myself, and then others I make on a commission basis.
Anyway, let's start off with your collection. Take your time and let's everyone there all over the world enjoy your fantastic monster collection. Yeah. And the best song at Halloween is Monster Mash. I love that song. I've been playing that song.
That's it.
Every Halloween.
Tell them Boris sent you.
Boris. All right. Let's start. Collection.
I'm going to turn the camera and I'm going to start where it started for me, which is 8mm.
No worries. And if I see something really great, I'll tell you.
Okay. This is a whole book case, and avoid the light there.
Yep, take your time.
So this goes essentially it is just a bookcase that goes up to almost the ceiling. And 8 Super 8. I fell in love with the box art. I finally remember this in Kmart in the end cap. They used to have the Castle Films display with all these. So this is okay. Look here, that true monster room right there. A spider got in the room.
Right.
Okay, can't be a monster room without spiders.
What's the name of the brand of the little movies that you used to play in your house? Who put them out?
Castle Films was the big one. Okay, so this one is a you can see the logo on that one, the Castle Films.
Yeah, fantastic.
So these are short 50 foot and then the 200-foot versions. Some are talkies, some are not, some are black and white, some are color.
Can you just mention some of the titles? Can we start from the start and just mention all the titles? I'd rather you grab each one and show me.
So let me go up to the top. So
Yeah, just call them out. That's fine.
It's
I can see perfect.
Frankenstein, monster that challenged the world, son of Frankenstein, Wasp Woman. This is both the German version and the American version of Dr. Sin, alias the Scarecrow, which was a Disney movie. The Spider, War of the Colossal Beast, Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is Castle of Death, which is actually Vampire Circus. Werewolf, Curse of the Fly, Dracula, Revenge of the Creature Walks Among Us, The Mummy, Mummy's Tomb. Mummy's
I love that movie.
All the mummies.
I love the mummies.
And then there's different ones. This is Walton. This is American International that put these out. These are knockoffs, and I love this artwork on this one. Is they ripped off the Aurora model kit, Dracula artwork, and a little piece of the Addams Family house, and just put it together. And this is actually Return of Dracula is what's on there. Dr. Cyclops, Blood of Dracula. This one is another German one of I believe it's just the Wolfman. I don't speak German, but I think that's just the Wolfman.
Some of those pictures look like my friends.
Yeah. This is Return of the Vampire.
Yeah, that's great.
Vampire and the Ballerina, a classic. Lust for Blood, Abbott and Costello, Screaming Skull. Now these down here,
yep.
A lot of people might remember these from the back of Famous Monsters. I always wondered about these. This is an 8mm movie that comes with one of those punch-out cereal box style vinyl records, which is back here. This is the vinyl piece inside of this, and it's a record. It's like a 45 record you can play along with it. Must be hell to try to sync them up and watch them at the same time, but they made quite a few of them, all Hammer titles.
What's that one there? The one who shows that Fu Manchu or something. What's that one?
Yeah, that's Horror of Fu Manchu with Chris Lee.
Hey, I guessed it. That's pretty good from here.
Yeah, there you go. Incredible Melting Man, some 70s schlock. Blood Beast. Let's see if you can see that one. Blood Beast, Trog.
Yeah, I remember Trog.
Oh, yeah, that was always a Saturday afternoon.
That was before Planet of... Sorry, Clay, that was before Planet of the Apes, wasn't it?
I think it's right after.
Okay.
That's a good question. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, War of the Worlds, Doom of Dracula, which is actually House of Dracula.
Yep.
In different boxes, Tarantula, and we get down to the big monsters, Reptilicus, Ghidra.
Yep.
Another Ghidra, Godzilla versus the Thing, Varan, Rodan.
Yep.
Here in the corner, and then Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah. Son of Kong, The Thing, House of Frankenstein, Dr. X, and the Claw Monsters. Now, this is about half of what I have in 8mm.
Where's the other half?
It's on a shelf. We'll get to that. We'll get to those.
No worries.
But the reason these are all here is this. My fiance made this for me.
Oh, look at that.
It's a hidden door to a little hairdressing and makeup room in the back there. So it's actually a little, it's a hidden door. So now when you look at it, it's, that's why it's like that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, it's just the kid in me. I always wanted a secret door or something. So
now I've got to see the games. I can't wait. Show me the games slowly. These games are unreal.
Let me start up here. There are, going this way very shortly, there's a ton of heads and masks and and all that stuff. There's a piece you don't see a lot, which is the Monster Lab. Right there.
Yeah, that's the Aurora, is it?
No, that's a Ideal thing.
Okay, cool.
And
what have you made that Monster Lab? Is that what I'm looking at now?
No, that's this thing here, Monster Lab, is from the 60s. Yeah, that's a 60s toy. That's a Marx Frankenstein. I love things like this. This is a little flasher, lenticular little TV with a monster thing on it.
Oh, yeah, I remember those TV things from the 60s. I haven't seen one of those since the 60s.
Yeah. Up here, these are the Jamar puzzles. One of the things I love about this is the garish artwork of these things. For a kid's puzzle, these are pretty violent. Right. Especially this lady grabbing her eye, blood. This guy with a syringe in his head and a battle, and so politically incorrect.
Yeah, you've got all my relatives there.
Yeah, hard to find these puzzles anymore.
Oh, that's good. I like Frankie there. He's a ripper.
Which one? This one?
That one there. That Frankie's a ripper right there where you got it in frame. I can see it perfect in frame. That's great.
Yeah, that's a Horizon vinyl kit.
Okay. Clay, can I just ask you, can you just pan back on that frame there so we see them perfect? That's it. Just go back across what you spoke so we can see them all in frame. Slowly like that. That's perfect.
Okay. So these are the rest of the...
Yeah, keep going because now we get to see it, the whole thing. That's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, I'm loving it. Thank you for that.
Okay. Do you need a wet nap?
We'll just move on now.
Okay. Coming over here, one of my other loves is I love plastic masks, which is kind of interesting because as a kid, I never wore these things. I insisted on doing my own makeup every year. But I loved the artwork and the garishness of these plastic masks. I have about 150 of them all over and different types. So you'll keep seeing those reappear in a lot of the shots.
Yeah, but that's great because they're all mint. They're all mint condition.
They're really good. I have a few that I've had to fix. These are the Hasbro mystery games. There's the Frankenstein. There's a Dracula. There's the Wolfman. I don't have the last three, which are the rarest ones, which is the Phantom, the Mummy, and the Creature from the Black Lagoon games. But slightly different box art. I always preferred this box art. I love this sort of chopped up, almost reminds me of a Saul Bass sort of animated credit sequence, the way it's chopped up like that.
It's fantastic. Is that all 60s, Clay? Is that 60s?
Those are all 60s.
Right. I've got to have a real good look at those because you don't see them. They don't exist now.
Yeah, so this beautiful artwork. These boxes, you'll see them a lot. They have a ripple. It's a piece of cardboard with a printed paper adhered to it. So what happens is over time it separates. So you see a lot of these that have that sort of separation and the rippling. And lots of edge wear because of its paper folded. You get a lot of that kind of edge wear on a lot of them. But beautiful games, beautiful artwork. There's the Frankenstein.
That's unreal. These pictures coming through here are just perfect.
Let me see if I can get over here to the Wolfman a little better. Yeah. Just always loved that artwork. These little things are from the 70s, little rubber figures. That's what they are, peeking in there. So there's 3 of those.
And that Ideal game there, King Kong, that's amazing. I haven't seen that since the 60s.
Yeah, that's a tough game to get. That one and the Godzilla that kind of is its buddy in crime here. Again, beautiful artwork, because that is the that's our 60s Godzilla, not the later 70s incarnation. So I mean, I'll get up and close just how beautiful that
Look at that.
artwork is.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, and just complete. You don't get board games with artwork like this anymore. So, and then moving over here, a lot of people, you know, when you talk about monster toys, you're going to get into the Aurora models very, very quickly, because it fueled the monster craze of the 60s, that every kid could have these little figures. I was born in 65, so I missed the initial monster craze. So really, I'm a child of the 70s in that respect. So I never saw what they consider to be the long boxes, which are the ones, you know, peeking out from back there. There's a creature and a Dracula and some others back there. I grew up with the 70s glow boxes, which are the
I can appreciate that. But look, they look fantastic. So far with your collection, it's blown my mind. I'm telling you.
Thank you. So that's what all that stuff is back there, and there's some Monsters of the Movies kits, which also came out in the 70s. Big Metaluna mutant head.
That's a ripper.
And this is a kit that I built. Let me see if I can get a shot through the glass of this thing.
Yeah, I can see it. If you hold it, it's perfect. Oh, that's a ripper.
And it's this is one of those ones I wanted to sink him in water.
So how did you get that model? Did you get the model and just make it inside that frame, yeah?
It's a vinyl kit. I mean, it's a vinyl model kit. And then I just built it, customized it. It actually, I don't know if I can get
No, it's perfect where it is. I can see it perfect.
It actually has droplets coming off his hand, droplets of water, and running down his chest and everything. So I was always very proud of this model, because I could have really ruined it by sinking him halfway in the resin. If he didn't work, it would have been ruined.
That's a beauty.
Let's see up here. Let me go around here. There's some stuff up here. Most of this is a lot of 70s stuff. Up here is the occasional odd one of the little Phantom. Let's see if I can get back there. Parts of this room are very crowded and don't really have a walkway. So that is just a little nodder, like a bobblehead from the 60s. A lot of this stuff is 70s, though. If we just
70s is great too.
So a lot of 70s little doodads here. This is a side note for it's sort of a monster tie-in sort of thing. This came from the failed World of Sid and Marty Krofft theme park that opened briefly and then crashed here in Atlanta. And this is an unused cup from the park.
That's great.
We're talking only a few months that it was open. So these are incredibly, incredibly hard to find anything from that theme park. And I have
is
a
that
couple.
Made of plastic?
No, it's just a paper, like a wax paper cup.
Okay, great.
And that's from Puffin Stuff. That's one of the 60s puppets.
It's great. HR Puffin stuff.
Let's see.
These are great. Just scroll through these. They're fantastic. The way you're doing you could always join a film company. I reckon you're doing a great job. That Boris Karloff head is a beauty.
Oh, I got that at Chiller Theater one year. Just gorgeous.
Okay.
One of my other loves from the 70s are the AHI monsters. I love these figures. This was AHI, who was a kind of a competitor of Mego, and all the variations of these figures. Rubber figures. There's Lincoln Enterprises back there, which was another sort of Amigo ripoff company. And then there's a mummy one, Star Raiders, which came out in the 70s. Started with a monster sort of theme, and then sort of piggyback. I always loved this one in the back. They call Yeti, but this sculpt is actually Ernest Borgnine from The Devil's Reign. If you've ever seen that, it had a beautiful fly figure. This one is the Morlock from Time Machine, and then in the back you can see they did a Cyclops.
This is before Star Wars, yeah?
Yeah, those are before Star Wars.
Okay.
And then these kind of capitalized on Star Wars, the ones called Star Raiders. So, because you can see that guy's a ripoff of a Tusken Raider from Star Wars right there. These are more. There's some Migos there.
That's fantastic. Slow panning, we get them all. That's
More
it. Slower the better.
More of the AHIs. Very short production time, but a lot of variations. I think they went to whoever was cheapest making it that week. That's who made it. Two gorgeous versions of the creature. They had what they call everyone calls this one the male, the thicker one, and then a female with broader hips. Just an odd thing. Lots of Draculas. Lots of.
Clay, I love the way how you're presenting all your models in the display case. It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. And then there's a AHI catalog, actually. And
did you collect monster cards and wrappers?
Yeah, I've gotten rid of some of that stuff only because no place to display it. My background was I had wanted to be a makeup effects artist.
Sure.
I thought that's what I really wanted to do with my life. And I tried, and I got to work on some low budget stuff, and I did a couple. I did a horror anthology TV series that lasted one season. So
That's
that was
great.
a big dream come true, to be able to do it. And I got to be in charge of all the makeup for it. But my true love is teaching. So I just went back and got my teaching degree, and I teach art, and then I just do these full figures, and that sort of takes care of this. I like it. I don't know that I had the passion to do it day in and day out.
Sure.
So that's why I got out of that. But
doing your own thing is more satisfying. Doing a model at home is fantastic.
That's right. But these were kits that were always in the back of Famous Monsters that I always wanted as a kid. And there's one other one, another horror, a different one that I need. But these were two that I really, really wanted. And you don't see them. They just don't pop up. And these were the 70s little makeup kits, the two Remco ones. Right there.
That's fantastic. That box one there. That's a ripper, that one.
Yeah, I love that box art. And then the Remco stuff that people are familiar with, the little mini monsters and such, and then the 9-inch ones like that one. And then there's they made like a little monsterizer for the small ones, and then made one for the big ones, hard to find those. They used the molds and made these little monsters at home, finger puppet things that had the same heads. And,
Clay, can I ask you, do you remember the coffin bank? You put the money in, the hand comes out and pulls in the coin?
Yeah. That's here somewhere. It's in
That's
here.
one of my favorite because it came to Australia.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a friend of mine who owned it. And I used to go to his house and we were fascinated with that for hours.
These are just oddball. I've been rearranging all these shelves, so you have to forgive me. This is a section I haven't really done much with.
That's fine.
This weird Dracula head back here, sort of based on a Lugosi sculpt, was in a spook show, like with a horror host up in Michigan. This was a prop they used on the show, and I grabbed that. I was able to nab that. I really like that. We'll come around to that section here in a minute. We'll go in here. Here's some stuff that I think people will enjoy. This is an all 60s thing. A book fell over. Okay. We'll start. Is that light on? No.
Yeah, it's all right. We can see.
Is that better now?
Yeah, what are those things? Cups.
Okay. We'll start with this. This is a Clinton Frankenstein bucket. It's a Halloween bucket. That, it's just a trick or treat bucket from the 60s. Hard to get, hard to find these. They don't pop up. Next to that, this is a little device that's actually essentially a flip book player called the Monster Scope, or the Horoscope. I'm sorry. Again, I only knew of these through Famous Monsters magazine. So it's something that I always wanted, but never saw it as a kid. So that's where I'm trying to add some more light for us here.
No, that's fine. I've never seen it either, Clay. The light's fine.
Yeah, and it's essentially, let's see, you can see here, there's the flip book pages. So you turn the crank and it just flips the pages like the way a flip book works. This is a paint by number. I don't know if you could see that one back there. From the 70s, an unused paint by number of the Phantom. It's kind of hard to see, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to see that one.
I keep getting a shadow.
That's all right. Just
yeah.
continue on. It's fine.
Okay. Going down here, these were little records that were like Valentine. It was like a Valentine card, but it had a little record in it. There's 3 different ones that I know of, because that's what I have. I have 3 of these. But just a unique little tie-in to have a 45 record and a card all in one. These are like gumball machine patches. Really hard to get. Really hard to get.
So what, you just sew them on your clothes, do you? Is that the idea?
Yeah. So these were, the artwork is, in some cases, it's kind of like the Maniac iron-ons that they did. And then there's a couple generic ones. They did them in different, some were in color, some, as you can see, were in just black and white. Beautiful artwork. I mean, look at that.
Oh, that creature there. Show me that creature. The green one.
Oh, going the other way. This one.
Yeah, I want that one. Man,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Look at that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
How much did they sell for? Do you know, Clay?
I don't know. I can't imagine these would be more than, it's probably like $1.
So we're talking 60s or 70s for these?
These are 60s.
Okay, great.
And then this set was based on the Topstone masks. So including the ones that I always want is Shock Monster right there. Who said this? If there's ever a 60s icon other than a Glenn Strange Frankenstein, I would say it's the Shock Monster. And there's the Lagoon Monster and Vampire Girl. And then right beside these are the big buttons and then the small ones. I'm missing the creature and the big one. And then there's the small ones.
If you wanted to buy Morphic Collection, do you mainly find them on eBay or do you find them at collectible fairs? Where would you be looking for more stuff to add on the ones you haven't got?
Everywhere. I mean, there's people I trade with. There's people, obviously I'm always looking on eBay and any of the other outlets. I've scored stuff off Craigslist through the years, believe it or not. Really cool stuff. And then still do some shows, still find things at estate sales and things like that. This is a, let's see. Let me see if I can get down here. This is a vinyl school notebook from the 60s.
That's great.
Frankenstein. Then going back down here, let's see. That's it's kind of backlit. I'm trying to see if I can put a light on it.
Yep, we see it perfect there. Hold it.
Can you? Okay. Can you see him? That's an aquarium figure.
Yep. What's he holding? A gun?
From the 70s? No, it's just his hands.
Okay.
In front of him. He's basically modeled after the Aurora model kit. There's a creature Pez. These are the vinyl wallets. They were double-sided. So you can see this one is Wolfman and Creature. The Phantom, I think, is Phantom and Dracula. And then the Frankenstein is Mummy and Frankenstein, I think. I'm not sure which combinations they are. But that's three of the wallets. This that fell down is a notepad, actually.
Sure.
Has Phantom of the Opera on it. So that's some gems stuff that I think is some of my favorite stuff. Up top here, let's see. These are the spoons, the Zoopic spoons.
We never got any of these in Australia. What you're showing me is unique. I haven't seen any of this.
And the only thing that my kids ever got into was this. And you can see the bottom of the paper is where they tried to get into it. They tore it. That was my son when he was very young. It's the only thing he ever bothered of my stuff for whatever reason. And these are picks. These aren't even the ice cream. Lord knows what. Going to head to the bar and mix a drink or something.
Yeah, Clay. They're stirrers for drinks.
Yeah. So I don't know why he wanted that. Why, but he wanted to open it. This is a flasher head. Goes with a little flashlight. That's a pretty hard piece to find. These are the Anchor Hawking glasses from the 60s. They were giveaways at service stations, believe it or not. Beautiful artwork. Great graphics. These two are from the 70s. So glasses again. This is a, let me get this guy out of the way. In the back is that grab bag, which had stuff in it. It still has the stuff in it, actually. Just Halloween giveaway type stuff. Some sealed packs of gum. These are...
I've got to get a close-up of the weirdos. I've never seen that. Is that the only one?
Yeah, that's just an unopened pack.
And what's the one above it? Another wax pack?
The Monster Initials.
Great. Have you got two of those, is it?
No, there's just one of those.
Okay. And what's that 5 cents thing next to it?
That is the bag of that was giveaway at Halloween to kids. You'd buy it, and
those three things there, those 2 wax packs, they're unbelievable. Show me that. Yeah. Show me the weirdos again, because I'll never see that again in my life. Unbelievable.
So these are flip books, including one that was never separated right there. No one took it apart because they came 2 to a pack. These are the glow heads from Monster cereal. Let's see if I can get a better shot of it.
Yeah, that's right there.
And there's a little replica of the ad. These are a couple more cereal premiums. These 2 here. I've got a whole section of just cereal premium toys of the Monsters. There's a couple still in their pack that were never used. Some poor kid just didn't open them up. He lost out. Let's see where to go here. Rise up. Some people, these are other masks. I love when monsters and creativity combine. And this was a product that was make your own mask, and it really was a vacuum form pieces and they were sort of rip-offs of Star Trek and Star Wars kind of creatures. There was this one, and then to kind of show you what they look like, there's the remnants of one right there. Just a goofy vacuum form plastic. These are lots of models. The Gigantics, which were the big monsters wrecking the city. Beautiful artwork. Look at that. Look at that artwork. And these are, that one's still sealed. I'm not a big fan of stuff that's sealed in the package because I like to look at it. I want to hold it. So there's a Nutty Mad from the 60s.
That's great. That's fantastic. I've seen that in books.
Yeah. That is, these are the Bisque characters. You get them unpainted and then you paint them. There's a shaker maker back there, which I had one of those as a kid, and a buddy of mine had one of these, so I traded him for it because I really wanted it. I just remembered
That's
it.
Right.
I got to set the laptop down here for a minute. Okay, This is just a little section, Outer Limits.
You know, that's my favorite game. That came out in the 60s. Never saw it. That's fantastic. Just that.
All the cards, there's 4 for each monster, and it forms a puzzle of each of the most famous monsters from Outer Limits, which is beautiful artwork. And now look at that box art. Just gorgeous. Outer Limits comic, Land of the Giants color forms.
Yeah, I've got to see that. Is that a lunchbox, that green one, is it?
Yeah, hang on. I almost dropped my laptop here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lunchbox that someone defaced his teeth.
I thought it looked a bit different.
That's a little flashlight.
Okay.
Just a little rack toy flashlight. I've never seen that again. There's the color forms. Again, beautiful, beautiful artwork. Coloring book. The kit from the Invaders of one of the ships, and there's some other books and an annual and that sort of stuff. One of my Outer Limits things, this is one of the pieces I made, is a full-size Zanty Misfit.
Looks great.
Going this way, there's a Herman Munster puppet, which I know Mark did the piece about the Munsters just recently with you.
Yeah,
Mark,
that one there.
Mark's a friend of mine. Mark's
That's great.
a fellow friend. This is a piece I built. Maskatron from $6 Million Man. The John Saxon Maskatron was the toy, but it was John Saxon that played. And this one's not finished yet. I haven't put the eyebrows on and stuff and painted him and put the hands on. But when Steve Austin knocks his face off, there's that's what you see. More masks. This is an actual Spook Show poster. When they used to have them at the theater, and it was never printed. So that as far as the location, that's why the top's blank like that, where they would put the date and the, what theater was doing it and all that sort of stuff. There's a mask, a hard one to find, a shock monster. A weird subject for a mask is Mr. Hyde, but this one is from the Abbott and Costello meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde version. And this weird mutton chop Phantom of the Opera. These two are from Monster Squad, the 70s TV show. Do you know what that one's from?
No, tell me.
Clash of the Titans. That's Calabas.
Seriously?
Yep. That's another Dr. Sin. That one is Dragon Slayer. There's a little Bubo from Clash of the Titans. There's a big Frankie box.
Oh, that's a beauty. Is that Ideal, is it?
Now that's Aurora. That's the original Aurora Big Frankie.
Okay.
And a lot of autographs over here on the walls. We'll hit those in a minute. There's some heads and busts not painted, and this.
So what we're looking at, Clay. What we're looking at is one big room in your house. Is that right?
Yeah, this is one room.
Must be a big room.
Well, no, it's just it photographs good. I'll let you see this. This is a cast of the headpiece that Glenn Strange wore in Abbott and Costello. Now, this is not Glenn Strange's headpiece. This is a casting. This one was made for what used to be the Universal makeup show in the 70s and 80s, where they would, in the Universal Studios tour, and a famous makeup artist, Emmy winner John Goodwin, did makeup for CSI. He saw this, and there was a chance that he may have actually been one of the ones making these at the time, as it turned out, he told me, because he knew right what to look for and told me. And then I had a picture of him. There's a postcard that they made and sold at the park, and he's in it. He's in the postcard doing this, which is really cool. So that was an interesting story. These are some autographs. Let me see if I can set this down somewhere. This wall of fame here. Okay. I'm backwards. There's a Karloff.
Yep.
There's a Elsa Lanchester. There's a Henry Hall. One of my personal favorites I had been after for years and years, and found this is an Ernest Thesiger from Bride of Frankenstein, or as he likes to say, Dr. Frankenstein. This is also signed by John Gielgud. Christopher Lee. an Oliver Reed, Veronica Carlson on that one. I have a Peter Cushing, but it's somewhere else. That one's not my favorite one, but that is a Peter Cushing. It's hard to see there.
You remember the TV show Dark Shadows?
Oh, yes.
That was big in Australia, just so you know.
Oh, it was, yes. That's Gloria Stewart, who most people know from Titanic as Old Rose, but she was in Old Dark House and The Invisible Man. That is Myrna Loy, the great Myrna Loy. She was in Mask of Fu Manchu with Karloff. Down here, there's Carol Borland from Mark of the Vampire. This one is, I know you're a Creature fan.
Yeah, I am.
So I cut this mat, and it has Riku Browning. So let me cut the mat so his signature is inside. So this is actually die cut around the signature.
Fantastic.
Same thing with Ben Chapman. So you got the land creature and the water creature. This is Julie Adams. This is John Agar. Oh, not too far. John Agar, who was in Revenge of the Creature. John Bromfield, who was in Revenge of the Creature. And then this is Jeff Morrow, who was in Creature Walks Among Us.
So there was 3 Creature movies, yeah?
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
all them. There's a Vincent Price, a
Dr. Fives there. Right.
Zachary,
Yeah.
Valerie Hobson from Bride of Frankenstein, Ernest Borgnine from Devil's Reign, the great John Carradine. This is Ralph Bellamy and John Knowles, who were in The Wolfman. Ray Harryhausen. There's May Clark back there. Come back down here. This is a hard to find one of the lamps.
I got to see those Whitman, Clay. I got to see those Whitman books that you got there.
Oh yes, I'll go buy those. These are like those. They used to sell these in cigar and luggage stores. These big plaster statues, and yeah, this one was made into a lamp. These are the Whitman books. I love these books, and
yeah, me too. I've got a few. I've got Combat. I've got Land of the Giants. I've got the Munsters. They're the ones I've got. Exactly the same. Can you just?
Here you go. There's Maverick.
Have you got a hand free?
Yeah.
Can you just show us each one if it's no trouble?
Oh yeah. This is a gorgeous artwork. Look at that painting.
Yeah, just move it in frame.
Oh, am I not in frame? Nope.
No.
There you go.
That's it. That's one right there. Great. Next one.
This one is Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that's great.
There were actually 2 Mission Impossibles. This one is with Martin Landau. The other one had Leonard Nimoy on it. So I used to have that one. I don't know. Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah. Lift it up a bit.
There we go.
That's great.
This one is Annette.
Let's have a look. Oh, Annette. Yeah, that's great. Annette Funicello. Yep.
Yeah, I can do it better this way, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Right there.
Okay.
Beverly Hillbillies. That's
Beverly
great.
Hillbillies. Combat.
Yeah, I
You
got
have
that
this
one.
one,
That's my
right?
favorite. Big show in Australia. Yep.
Green Hornet.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I got that too, believe it or not.
Yeah, great cover. Beautiful cover. You said you had the Munsters. I think we saw this one in Mark's collection too.
That's great. I love these books.
Oh, I do too. And, this is a collection. here in the States you can pick up very cheap. There are so many, and I keep finding some that I never knew they made.
Sure.
The Invaders, you have that.
Yeah, I got that one.
You have that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Bewitched.
Yeah, I haven't got that, but that's a ripper.
Ironside.
Yep.
And the last one is all their Western ones were done with this this thicker binding, and it had a sort of a waxy cover on it. Yeah, but they had the most beautiful artwork.
I agree
on those things.
That's great. You got to find the coffin bank for me, Clay. You know it. Don't.
Where it is. I thought it was in that one case. It might be in this other one.
I haven't seen the coffin bank yet.
Okay. These are some games.
Yeah, let's have a look at those.
So,
Thunderball, James Bond. That's a ripper.
Yeah, there's an extra Frankenstein game up in there that I got for a friend of mine. I'm holding that one for him. I actually have.
There's Dark Shadows there.
Yeah, there's Dark Shadows. That's the one. I traded off the other one for something that I wanted, but okay.
Sure, they're too hard to pull out, Clay, are they?
Let me see if I can get back here and get them.
Okay, appreciate it.
I don't think I'm going to be able to pull them out all the way. But you want?
Okay, don't worry, just leave them there. It's fine.
On the Dark Shadows.
They're great. That's fantastic art.
Beautiful painting of Barnabas on there.
Exactly.
Then let's see. That's creature feature game. Some puzzles. She's not supposed to be in there. With the games, there's some more.
Great. I see Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea on your right.
Yeah. So in here, there's Monster Squad, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Monsters from the Deep, The Game of Dracula, a different Dracula game. Is it Creeple People set? Witch, Mystic Skull, Voice of the Mummy. Down here, there's the alligator from the game Alligator. It's kind of like the Jaws game, where you have to get stuff out of his mouth before it snaps on you. Speaking of the Jaws game, there's the Jaws game.
That'd be hard to get now.
Getting harder to get them complete, find all the pieces. These are we'll move up here. A bunch more stuff. This is the Godzilla game.
Yep.
Puffy stickers. It's
Addams Family.
It's the Addams Family card game peeking out there from the Wolfman.
Can you pull that game out, Addams Family?
Yeah, the card game.
Yeah, let's have a look at the box.
Yep. Okay, if I could do it backwards and forward.
No, that's great. Just lift it up a bit and we'll see it. It's fantastic. Right there. Oh, and that's original 60s. That's what's great.
Yeah, and that's a card game. Same box and same company. You know, they made there was a Bond card game. There was a Man from U.N.C.L.E. There was the Monster Old Maid, which is right here.
That's a classic, that one there. That came to Australia.
That was the lunchbox and the thermos there.
Oh, that's great.
Beautiful, beautiful artwork on that.
That's 60s, yeah?
No, that's 80s, I think.
Okay.
79 or 80. 79, 1979 when it came out. Let's see. This is more of the the Remco stuff there. Try not to go too fast here.
It's just amazing what you own, Clay. I'm serious.
Some of it were just little things I remember as a kid, like this little Dracula head.
Yeah, I got to see that creature feature box there. That's a whack card set, yeah?
Yeah, and that's the box and 3 packs.
Unopened, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fantastic there. That's a ripper.
A weird creature mask, rubber mask from the 70s. Let's see. These are some of the plaster casting heads. Another Wolfman mask. Let's see. Things like back in there are the monster calendars, which just had a lot of pictures. It was a calendar, but it had a lot of pictures. I've got 2 different ones of those. That was just one of those oddball things I find. Picked them up. These are the things that I have to go through.
Sure.
This is part that I haven't straightened up and things.
That's okay. You can scan those. It's all right.
Yeah, the Monster Gallery book there. 7-Eleven cup.
Yep.
For Dracula. There's a Gregory the Bat and a little piece of vintage artwork that my son did, laying on top of Gregory there.
That's great.
That Topstone vinyl Dracula there. Some little sculpture pieces that I've made back there. Little Planet of the Apes figure. More cups. This is some oddball stuff here. There's some Jaws, King Kong. These are pieces from original issue. Jaws 2. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, you can now.
Yeah, great.
Promo stuff, iron-ons, stuff from Universal, like their program books and stuff like that from when they had the ride. The model kit is back there behind the King Kong, one of the sharks. I guess to tie in with this is the bear from Grizzly. And to tie in with Grizzly is this is a gumball machine of the Grizzly poster, the movie poster, in a gumball machine that they sold in the 70s. This is Ugly Stickers wax pack.
That's great. I love that stuff.
Still got the gum in it.
I love that stuff.
And these are King Kong, not official soakies, but they're bubble bath containers. And they're flocked. They've got flocked hair on them. Those are really cool. Going down here, this shelf, some odd stuff that needs to be filed away, but there's a Land of the Lost lunchbox down here.
Yeah, I'd like to have a look at that.
If you can see it. There's part of it peeking out there. Let me see it. I can pull that one out for you. These are...
You can check. And that's 70s, yeah?
Yeah, that's 70s.
I love it.
And it's got the thermos inside of it, actually.
That's great. Fantastic.
More figures. This is a casting of from Tom Savini of Fluffy, the actual Fluffy prop from Creepshow.
Unbelievable.
And some other heads. You know, when you're getting monster trash cans.
Unbelievable. Clay, we're coming up to an hour. I just got to ask you, if you'd be kind enough, if it's possible, to show me the coffin bank. If it's nearby, we'll have a look. If not, we'll have to wrap it up. But I tell you what, you got one of the best world-class collections I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, and we didn't even do the other half of the room.
Don't worry, we'll be doing the other half as the second part of the show. That's no problem.
Okay. So
if we can go to Coffin Bank, we'll say goodbye on that if you can find it for Plastic EP. I appreciate it.
And
if you can't find it, we'll do it for next time.
Yeah, let's do that for. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, because it's in the other half of the room.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, we could start off with it.
That's what we'll do. Anyway, Clay, from Plastic EP and everybody around the world, you should be so proud of your collection because we just did an hour and we still haven't finished.
Yeah, so there's still more to see.
We're going to come back. No worries about that. Say goodbye to everybody, Clay.
Goodbye. Thank you for taking the time to look at my collection.
Clay, it's been one of my biggest, how can I say, I'm so happy that I was able to share your collection and you shared it with the world, because this is something everyone's going to look at in years to come and say, wow, what a collection, because it's blown my mind this morning. Seriously.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. You know, we collect for ourselves, but make no bones about it, we collect to show off too. So, I mean,
I'm so happy that you showed off your collection today. Thank you again, Clay.
Thank you.
And we'll talk, and we're going to see the second half shortly. Thanks again.
Super.